Are you struggling to figure out what to eat on a low FODMAP diet? Well, don't worry, we've totally got you covered. In this explainer, you're going to learn about 10 super gut-friendly foods that can help calm down that bloating, ease your digestion, and just keep you feeling amazing. So let's dive right in.
Does this sound familiar? You know, that constant frustrating feeling that no matter what you do, your stomach just isn't happy with you? It's so uncomfortable, it's distracting, and honestly, it can really mess up your whole day.
If you are nodding your head right now, the very first thing you need to know is that you are definitely not alone in this.
According to the clinical guidelines, symptoms like these are often the classic signs of a chronic disorder called irritable bowel syndrome, or you've probably heard it called IBS. And it's a condition that can really significantly impact a person's quality of life.
And you might be surprised at just how common it is. Data from the American College of Gastroenterology shows that almost 5% of people in places like the US, the UK, and Canada are dealing with IBS. I mean, that's millions and millions of people feeling the exact same way.
So what's causing all this digestive drama? Well, for a lot of people, the answer might be hiding in a group of compounds called FODMAPs. Let's dig into the science of what's going on here.
Okay, FODMAP. It's an acronym, and it stands for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. Wow, that is a mouthful, right? But don't worry about the big words. In plain English, these are all just different kinds of short-chain carbs, basically sugars and fibers, that our small intestine has a really hard time absorbing.
So how do these little things cause so much trouble? Well, it's a pretty simple three-step chain reaction. First, because your body doesn't absorb them well, they hang out in your gut and pull extra water in with them. Second, the bacteria that live in your gut see them as a feast and start to ferment them. And third, that whole fermentation party creates a lot of gas. So for anyone with a sensitive gut, that combo of extra water and extra gas is the perfect storm for all that bloating, pain, and general discomfort.
And look, this isn't just some random diet trend. It's a clinically recognized approach. In fact, it's so effective that the American College of Gastroenterology actually recommends trying a low FODMAP diet for a limited time to help figure out your triggers and improve those IBS symptoms.
Okay, enough about the problem. Let's get to the good stuff. What can you actually eat? It's time to build a shopping list that your gut is going to absolutely love.
All right, first up, protein. The amazing news here is that pure proteins, think eggs, chicken, fish, and other meats, are naturally FODMAP-free. So these are your safe zone foods. They're a fantastic foundation for any meal to help you feel full and satisfied without worrying about symptoms.
Next, let's get some color on that plate. When it comes to veggies, you have so many wonderful options that won't cause any trouble. You can build these huge, vibrant salads with crisp lettuce, cucumbers, tomatoes, bell peppers, or maybe roast some carrots as a side dish. All of these are low FODMAP, so you can really pack in those nutrients without a second thought.
And if you've got a sweet tooth, don't worry, you do not have to give up fruit. Things like oranges and grapes are excellent choices, and others, like strawberries and even bananas, can also fit in beautifully. But, and this is a really crucial point, with some fruits, portion size is everything. A small handful of strawberries, or maybe about a third of a ripe banana, is kind of the sweet spot to keep it gut-friendly.
Okay, for my plant-based friends out there, firm tofu is an absolutely brilliant option. But you have to listen to this because it's fascinating. The type of tofu you choose makes all the difference in the world.
So here's the deal, and it's actually pretty cool. FODMAPs dissolve in water, so with firm tofu, most of that liquid, which carries the FODMAPs, gets pressed out. But with silken tofu, that liquid is all blended right back in, which means it has way more FODMAPs. This little fact is such a perfect example of a key principle of the whole diet.
And finally, let's talk about some of those essential staples. For satisfying carbs that give you energy, you can totally lean on rice, potatoes, and quinoa. And if you think you have to say goodbye to all dairy, think again. Lactose-free milk is an easy swap, and a lot of hard cheeses, like cheddar and Parmesan, are naturally low in lactose because the aging process breaks it down. So yes, you can still have cheese.
Now, I have to pause here because this is probably the most important thing to understand. The low FODMAP diet is not meant to be some restrictive, forever diet. You should really think of it as a short-term learning journey that happens in 3 specific phases.
So here's the game plan. Step 1 is elimination. For about 2 to 6 weeks, you stick to just low FODMAP foods. This is all about calming your system down and getting a clean slate. Step 2 is reintroduction. This is the fun detective part, where you carefully, systematically bring back different high FODMAP foods, one by one, to see how you react. This is how you find your personal triggers. And finally, step 3 is personalization. You take everything you've learned and build a long-term, diverse diet that is tailored specifically for you.
The whole goal here is to create your very own personal food blueprint. And a huge part of making that happen is learning the simple art of how to swap and succeed.
Just look at how powerful a few small changes can be. Instead of an apple, grab an orange. If you miss that onion flavor, just use the green parts of scallions. And this one's a game changer. If you're craving garlic, use garlic-infused oil. The flavor gets into the oil, but the FODMAPs don't. It's little tricks like this that make the whole process so much easier to handle.
So just remember, at the end of the day, this whole thing isn't about restriction. It's truly about discovery. It's an amazing tool that lets you listen to your body and figure out exactly what it needs to feel its absolute best.
And that brings us to the end. I want to leave you with one little question to think about. Looking at that list of swaps, what's just one small change, one easy swap, that you could try this week to begin your own journey of discovery?